Fox News alert right now on Capitol Hill. House lawmakers are preparing to vote on whether to hold Attorney General Eric Holder in contempt for refusing to turn over thousands of documents related to a gun-running sting known as Operation Fast and Furious that put weapons into the hands of very bad criminals down in Mexico, resulting in the death of hundreds down south of the border, as well as the death of one Border Patrol agent in America. We are also hearing that one group of Democrats is planning a very public show of displeasure with this vote. Our chief congressional correspondent, Mike Emanuel, on Capitol Hill with the latest. Mike?
Hi, Megan. House lawmakers will be asked to vote on two contempt resolutions against Attorney General Eric Holder, one criminal, which was passed out of the committee last week, the other civil, which might be the easier path to go to a court and ask a judge to force the Department of Justice to hand over Fast and Furious documents. A short time ago, a former federal prosecutor turned congressman got very passionate when talking about the family of former fallen border agent Brian Terry.
Let's go through it. The raw data of what happened
My
on the street levels
question for our colleagues on the other side of the aisle, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Speaker, is this.
The ATF director
what
says
percentage of the truth will you settle for?
And the Attorney General,
if you have ever sat on the other side of the table from parents who have lost a loved one,
the committee staff wants to see
is
that
50%
smoking gun
enough?
email
is
to
that
impeach
enough
that February 4th letter to Congress.
75%?
Let's get the wiretap applications. Remember the DOJ said that their top attorneys never saw the actual applications, only the summaries. Well, the committee says, let's see the summaries to see who's telling the truth and who's not. The FBI also knew about this investigation because their own informant was buying guns with taxpayer money. The committee has not seen any documents showing what the FBI knew and if they approved the gun walking. Then they want to say the ATF agent's case file. She knows everything, and her file will reveal who's telling the truth, the whistleblowers or the superiors who say that the ATF stopped every gun it could within guidelines. Let's now go to the emails that were following Brian Terry's death. Following his death, the Justice Department wrote a report detailing its involvement and that of the U.S. Attorney. The committee has not seen that report or any emails that were from Justice acknowledging their role in his death. That they found implausible. Let's go to the license plate recognition. Now, the ATF claims it stopped every gun it could. The whistleblowers say that's true. Not true, because they knew the cars and the plate numbers of guns heading south over to Mexico, and that is why they want to see that, because they claim that the agency knew exactly when those guns were going into Mexico. Back to you.
William, thank you.
Eric Holder, contempt vote, your take.
All right, here's what this is all about, ladies and gentlemen. I want everybody to listen. What this is all about is the Democratic Party walking out on the family of the Border Patrol agent Brian Terry, who was killed. That's what this is all about. Nancy Pelosi and her acolytes, who walked out of that chamber today instead of just casting a vote of conscience, all right, against because that's what they believe. They believe that Eric Holder shouldn't have to explain what happened here. That's what the Democratic Party believes. They walked out on this family. This family has a right to know how their son was killed, who ordered the program, when the Attorney General and the President knew about the program, and what the Attorney General did after he knew. We have a right, but more importantly, the Terry family has a right as Americans to know how their son was killed. And the Democratic Party and the President of the United States says to the Terry family, blank you, we're not going to tell you. That's what it's all about. All of the other stuff is BS. It's telling the family, we're not going to tell you how your son was killed. We are not going to do it. That's outrageous. But instead, all of this stuff is being lost in the political morass. So I want to boil it all down. Reviewing this decision by the Supreme Court heightens the power of the federal government. They take over the healthcare industry, period. The walkout of the Democrats and the executive privilege invoked by the President says to the Terry family and every other American, we are not accountable to you. We will not tell you how this Border Patrol agent and dozens of other people were killed. We are not going to do it. It's outrageous. But people have got to figure it out, and they got to go to the polls in November, and they have to decide what kind of country they want, period.
Bill O'Reilly, great to talk to you. Thanks so much.
All right, Laura.